Hello to my ghouls and goblins. Today we are going to make this cute little pocket door hanger. This is an SVG I created last year, and I feel guilty because I never showed you guys how to put it together. So that's what we're going to do today. And for a treat for you, the first 10 people who send me an email, which is always down below in the description box, you will get this file for free. And then if you miss out, I do apologize, but I do have this in my Etsy shop, which is down below in the description as well. So gather up your supplies. Let's learn how to do this. All right, let's go. Okay, so when you upload the file, it should look a little something like this. Your whole entire thing will be grouped together, so you will have to click on it and you will have to ungroup it. And then each portion, the pocket portion and the hanger itself, are grouped together, so you're gonna have to ungroup those pieces as well, as you see me do over on the right hand side. So when we go ahead and click back onto the pocket, we're going to ungroup it again to release the phrase crafty life, and that's just an addition that's with it. You don't have to use it if you don't want to. In this case, I'm not going to use it, so I'm going to regroup these together, and I am going to go ahead and hide it off of the screen here. So now we are left with these 4 pieces here. So I'm going to go ahead and ungroup the hanger portion. And so now that we have our pocket, we have the outer outline layer of the hanger portion, and then this back piece. This back piece is to help just be a decorative type of thing. You don't have to have it, but I thought it was cute when I added it. So when you automatically get it in Cricut, in Silhouette it will be different, but with Cricut it'll come with solid lines. What we're going to do is we're going to click on all of those solid lines, and I'm holding my shift button and I'm clicking on all of them. We are going to go up and we are going to choose proofread. So then we're going to choose score. So then that way we are scoring the lines. It is not just cutting out solid lines. And then after that, you're going to highlight the whole thing with your score lines and the pocket. And we're going to go to the bottom right hand side and we're going to click attach. If you don't click attach, when you send it to your mat, it's going to send it separately. Okay. So now that we have that done, I'm going to click on the pocket. I'm just going to hide it for a second so we can focus on the other pieces of the hanger. So we have our back piece, the scallop rectangle, and then we have our outer layer of the hanger, and then we have our solid piece of the layer. If you're going to use acetate, you want to make sure that you cut out an extra piece for the acetate. And then if you are going to make it into a shaker, you want to click on your outline piece and you want to cut out how many times you want it to cut. Now if you're just using cardstock, you want to make sure you cut it out multiple amount of times. Otherwise, if you're using foam, cut however many you want. I don't use foam in my machine merely because I only have the adhesive kind, and the mats don't really like those. So but I just wanted to show you that you just click on it and you hit duplicate for however many you want, and then that's how you go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and eliminate those so it can be off the screen so it won't distract you. And then also, I personally am going to cut out 2 of these hanger pieces. Again, I'm not going to use acetate. I'm actually going to try it this time with some tulle, but depending on the cardstock that you are using, you want to make sure that you add some weight to this, so that way it's more sturdy when it hangs on the door. Another thing I want to show you, I'm going to bring back the pocket so then that way you'll see it. It does not come with a matting piece. So depending on the cardstock that you're using, if you're using pattern paper or if you want a matting piece to go on top of that, what you can go ahead and do is go into your left bar of your options and go into shapes, and then go ahead and grab a square, and then you can go ahead and create a matting piece by placing it in the upper little left hand corner and then dragging that little white bar all the way down to where you want it the size to be for a mat. So again, it depends on if you are using just plain cardstock and then you want a matte pattern paper or not. I personally am going to be cutting my pocket out in pattern paper, so I'm not going to be using a matting piece. So once you get all your pieces figured out, I'm going to delete these squares out the way and this extra one I accidentally added on there. But once you get all your pieces figured out of how many pieces you're going to cut and how many that you want to layer, go ahead, get those all together, and then come join me for the next portion. Alright, so now you see I have all my pieces here. I have a pattern piece and a solid color, and then 2 solid colors of my scallop piece, and then my pocket. And then I have 9 pieces for the outline here. Now, what I am going to do is attach all of these together except for one. And because I want my thing to be thick, okay? When I say I want it to be thick, I want to be thick. So that's why I did 9, and I did mine in 110-pound cardstock. So I'm going to go ahead and get these all put together. Now that I have those all put together, I'm going to go ahead and put her to the side. I'm going to grab my scallop pieces and attach these. Again, it all depends on what you're using. This is just regular 65-pound cardstock, so then that's why I had grabbed 2 of them. You honestly don't even need the scallop piece. I did create it, but I like it, okay? I thought it was cute. I'm like, oh, let me put a little back layer on there, you know? So you don't need it, but I thought it was cute. So now I'm going to do the actual hanger portion itself. I'm going to attach these. Again, it depends on the cardstock that you're using. That's why I have a solid one, and then I have my pattern paper, so then that way I have more stability. Now when I add my like shaker piece, like the outline to it, is going to make it even thicker and more stable. So now I'm going to line it up with my little scallop piece to make sure I know exactly where I'm going to add my glue, and then I'm going to apply my hanger on top of that. So bam, there we go right there. Alright, so now that I have that on there, I'm going to grab my thickness and I am going to apply my glue, and then make sure that I line that up very well with my hanger, because I don't like that overhang business. I want it to be nice and neat. Alright, so now that we have that put together, we're going to shake some things up. And I have my buttons galore and more goodies and treats here. I have the links to these that I am using down below in the description box. And I'm just going to add some little tidbits. You want to make sure that you add some smaller pieces to go actually in the hanger portion, because if you add pieces that are too big, it's not going to shake up there. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to go ahead and spread these all around. And I'm going to add a few little buttons in there too. We're just going to make it real cute. Now we got that out the way, we're going to go ahead and grab our snowball mesh here, and I am going to measure it out, and I'm going to cut the piece off, and I'm going to grab my silicone mat and my hot glue gun. And the silicone mat just helps with keeping the hot glue from sticking like onto my mat or any other surfaces, because it won't stay stuck to the silicone mat. So I'm going to lay down my mesh, or actually I'm going to put down my hot glue and then lay down my mesh as I press onto it with my secured covered finger. And I'm going to do this all around the hanger portion. You want to go on it kind of thinly, because if you go too thick, then you're going to have this weird crusty thickness when you apply it on to your hanger. Now if you want to avoid this, you can go ahead and do the acetate. By doing acetate, you will cut out another solid piece, of course, with acetate, and then you'll go ahead and have that. But I wanted to give it a try to see if it will work with the mesh, so that's what we're doing today. So now that I have that completely covered, I'm going to go ahead and take my scissors and carefully cut out the rest of the mesh, making sure I do not snip my hanger itself. Alright, so now that I have that done, I'm going to go ahead and grab my hot glue gun again, and now I'm going to adhere that piece on to the rest of the hanger. I'm going to go on it kind of thinly, but not too thin. You have to work really, really fast with this because we all know how hot glue works. So you have to go at it pretty fast. So like you see, as my stuff I did it way too thin, so I had to go back and add a little bit more hot glue and go ahead and untouch that thing super quick. And I'm going to do this all the way around and make sure that everything is adhered properly. Now we're going to bring in the pocket. I am going to take my double-sided tape and I am going to apply it to the ends of the pocket. As you notice, there are 3 half-inch portions on either side of lengthwise, and then we just have the one on the bottom. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So once I get that adhered down, I'm going to flip this over and we're going to do some folding. You guys know this. You've seen me do this. We're going to go in and then we're going to pull it back towards us. And then we're going to go back forward again. And then we're going to repeat that on the other side. And then this one just has the one, so you don't have to worry about that. Now, with this pocket, it originally designed it to go inside of that barrier, that, you know, the outline of the portion. It was originally done to go inside of that when you had the acetate piece. Now, if you're doing the tool or mesh method that I'm doing, because like I said, I was testing this out today, you're gonna have to kind of maneuver it so then that way it fits on the outside of it, and of course not the inside. Or you can just go ahead and adjust it when you are in your design space or whether you're on silhouette, so then that way it can extend a little bit further. But I made it work. And look at it. She's cute. She is cute. And we're going to decorate this and we're going to make her real fancy. So see how this works? Boo! Yes. Make sure you guys go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, and make sure you leave your comments down below, and I'll check you in the next one. Bye.